Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is another Hollywood Celebrities Dropping Like Flies, the Mathew Perry edition.
They're dropping like flies.
Listen, people are dropping like flies out there.
I am
Boop.
pissed off.
We're dropping like flies around here.
We're dropping like flies here. Jeez, sir, 2 more just went down. Dropping like flies.
Too many people around here been dropping like flies already, and where's that getting us, huh? Nowhere. Fast.
Biden's being Biden's being extremist.
Crush that fly.
Friends star Mathew Perry dead at age 54 of apparent drowning. Report says they're all saying apparent drowning. All the headlines were saying apparent drowning. And the reason why it's apparent drowning was they found him in his jacuzzi. So he drowned in his jacuzzi. The jacuzzi is something in which you can stand up in. So unless he fell and hit his head like Bob Saget. Remember Bob Saget? Fell and hit his head, and then there was multiple fractures. He had a blow to the back of his head that created fractures in his orbital bones around his eyes. Like his skull was fractured from back to front. And, no foul play. Remember Bob Saget's thing. They said there was no drugs or alcohol, but he was in his hot tub, and he drowned. And somebody called and said that he had a cardiac arrest. So there was a 911 call that said he had a cardiac arrest. There's the friends, all this stuff. He was not looking very good. Like, him dying wasn't a surprise to me when I saw him last. Here he is here. This was his last photo. He just was a wreck, and he was inarticulate and all these things. He had problems expressing himself when we saw that thing when he did that Friends special. He was slurred speech, brain damage and things. Friends Mathew Perry shared final eerie photo before his death. And so at his Instagram page, this is his Instagram. No, that's not it. Posted this photo on his Instagram page. And so he's in his hot tub, and so warm, water swirling around makes you feel good. Matt Man. So I guess this is his hot tub, wherever he was, Matty Perry, and this is his photo, and I guess he had some Batman things going on, some kind of a theme. So without foul play, without drugs and alcohol, and him being in a hot tub in which he could easily stand up. It's hard to drown in a hot tub. When you can stand up when something isn't over your head, and you're in a small enclosure where you can either easily grab the side and pull yourself out, then you either have to pass out in some way, have a head injury, or some other issue. But they're not saying what it is. But the 911 call said that he had a cardiac arrest, right? So here it says, we're told Mathew Perry came home sometime around a.m. and after a 2-hour round of pickleball, he's been playing a lot of pickleball, and we're told that the assistant returned 2 hours later. He discovered Matt unresponsive and called 911, and there it is. So he played a little pickleball, and he got into his jacuzzi, and he died. Okay, so my wife brought this to my attention. One good thing that Mathew Perry did, back when he was coming off of drugs, getting ready for the Friends reunion, he was having facial issues here, is he decided to merch up as a, some sort of, could I be any more vaccinated, with question mark. With a thumbs up, Could I be any more vaccinated? Get your shot and get your shirt. Shop the entire collection at represent.com. Mathew Perry, link in the bio, only available for a limited time. And so you can only get this for a limited time. You know, I mean, it was kind of community service, kind of, you know, merchant up, making a little profit. But either way, you know, doing his part. Could this be any more of the Mathew Perry merch store? Could I be any more me? This was his merch. He had also it represented Cameo. So I don't know where the merch is. All the links on this page are dead. There's no links to any merch. He's all merched out. It also had 1,200,175 likes. So again, you know, he was doing his part. The memes are starting to pour in here. Schwimmer, non-Schwimmer. So I'm sure there's more to come. New York City's reticketing center gives migrants free one-way fares to anywhere else but here. You don't have to go home. You just can't stay here. So this happened as well. This there's a gator. He's in Mathew Perry's jacuzzi. There's a gator in Mathew Perry's jacuzzi. So Hurricane Otis has destroyed Acapulco, and very few people are talking about Acapulco. 27 deaths and like all these buildings, severe damage in these buildings here. There's a building here just got ravaged by the hurricane, and it seemed to hit high-end beachfront property a la Hawaii, right? Like another land grab type things where people who were, you know, who owned beachfront property and, you know, a nice area in Acapulco are now homeless, and looks like there'll be some sort of a land grab and something that was, you know, it went from a category like a tropical storm to a strong hurricane in a short period of time. And I guess there's some truthers or semi-truthers that live there, and people are saying they're attacking truthers. And, you know, I was talking with my wife about it. I'm like, you know, the truth movement hasn't done anything. The truth movement doesn't have any teeth. It doesn't have any way to stop what's going on. Getting information out is, you know, maybe a nuisance, maybe an obstacle, a small obstacle, but it isn't, you know, it isn't a blockage or, you know, it isn't going to disrupt the plans of the powers that be who are, you know, have bigger fish to fry in terms of their, you know, their time is ending and they kind of know it, right? The system's collapsing. So there's that.
So some doctors are calling for more research into the side effects of very popular diabetes and weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy. They say the new side effects may be emerging, and as the demand for these medicines skyrockets. Our Meg Terrell, our medical correspondent, is here. What are the doctors worried about?
Yeah, so we know that the way these drugs work is they mimic a hormone in the gut called GLP-1, and that stimulates the body to produce insulin, can also curb hunger, and it slows the stomach from emptying. And it's that last thing that doctors
It slows the stomach from emptying. That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Are focused on now. Our reporter Brenda Goodman talked with 3 patients who had sort of a severe effect of that actually caused, or their doctors think perhaps caused, stomach paralysis or gastroparesis, a severe form of that, and that can cause severe vomiting and nausea. And of course, GI effects are known side effects of these medicines. You can see in clinical trials.
Well, that's this thing has a 44% nausea rate and a vomiting 24%.
Nausea was felt by 20% of patients on
stomach paralysis.
Ozempic, 44% of patients on Wegovy, which is a higher dose of Ozempic, essentially for weight loss. But the stomach emptying effect is something that Novo mentions in the drug's label.
All right, so, you know, hard times. Dr. Anthony Fauci to be awarded 2024 Anna Mori Ethics Prize by Anna Mori International Center for Ethics and Excellence. Well deserved. And then WZLX morning show member unexpectedly dies. Sharon Stone says doctors misdiagnosing her brain hemorrhage because staff thought she was faking. Now, she's talked about this in terms of it being male doctors, because she was the most pro-medical. I mean, she was like saying she didn't want any staff working on her. She quit films, or she quit some, whatever she was doing, because she's got no weight. No one really wants her in anything anymore. She's a has-been. But she said she wouldn't work with people who didn't get the boop. And, in the whole thing with her mask and her sister being, she called the governor of Montana because her sister was out there and had, all this stuff that was going on in these states where they weren't, where the liberal states were adhering to the COVID policies. And she was so pro-COVID, pro-mask, pro-boop, all these things. Boop. She was all that stuff. And now it comes out that she had her own issue where she almost died because she had, I remember waking up on a gurney and asking the kid William at where I was going, and he was saying, "Your brain surgery." The doctor has decided without my knowledge or consent that he should give me exploratory brain surgery and sent me off to the operating room. What I learned through the experience is that in a medical setting, women often just aren't heard, particularly when you don't have a female doctor. So she made it about women and not the medical community itself. Like, everything about her is about women and how you only can trust women, and that the only way to solve COVID was to have Kamala Harris a part of the Biden administration, because only women cared and men were killing people with COVID. She sucks. Howard Stern show Robin Quivers on living with endometrial. I don't even know. Why would I even try? Cancer over a decade. I'm still here. That's happening. Robin Quivers. This guy just falls off the stage here. He's walking. Here he is. Where is he? Okay, it starts here. Here he comes. There he goes. There you go. And see ya. Jared Pacue. I'm not sure who that is. All right, that's enough for today. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely pointing for the apocalypse and the ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.